Welcome to your NewsLink Indiana Web Sports. I'm Jacqueline Rosali. Thanks for joining us. Women's soccer got a great start in MAC Conference tournament this weekend, taking on the Golden Flashes from Kent State. The Cardinals hosted their first MAC tournament game at Briner Sports Complex since 2007 and savored the last home game of the season with a 2-0 win. It was a physical affair in the first half, with Golden State holding onto much of the possession throughout the first 45. The Cardinals worked through a new formation to start the game, allowing Kent State the better chances early on. It was Elena Musla that broke the deadlock in the 62nd minute with a goal off the free kick for the 1-0 lead. Musla would score the brace 15 minutes later to seal the 2-0 win. Ball State moves to the next round of the tournament against number 1 seeded Buffalo. Fans may remember the Cardinals' last meeting with the Bulls in late October, ending with a controversial call that gave Buffalo a late penalty kick for the win. In a post-game interview Saturday, Musla said they are out for revenge and looking forward to the semifinals. That game will take place in New York Saturday afternoon. Women's volleyball held on for the 3-2 win in a thriller against Western Michigan. The Cardinals traded sets with their MAC conference rivals before turning to a fifth set where Ball State would capture the win. In that fifth set, Ball State came out on a 10-4 run off junior Jenna Spatafora's career-high 4 service aces. Western Michigan would tie that set back up at 15, but Haley Benson and Sabrina Magnapora secured back-to-back kills for the set and the match. Spatafora finished the night with 60 assists, 3 kills, and 6 digs. Magnapora also had a standout performance with 18 kills and a .53 hitting mark. The Cardinals will hit the road for the next 3 games. First up, Central Michigan on Friday. And women's basketball still has a few weeks to prepare for their home opener against Purdue, but will host an exhibition game against Oakland City. The Cardinals' last game against the Lady Oaks came last year in a landslide 109-58 victory for Ball State. That game will be Tuesday night at Worthen Arena. And that's all for your NewsLink Indiana Web Sports. Be sure to stay up to date with us on Facebook and Twitter. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Jacqueline Rosali. Have a great night. Welcome to your NewsLink Indiana Web Sports. I'm Jacqueline Rosali. Thanks for joining us. Ball State suffered their first loss of the season to Big Ten school Iowa Saturday afternoon. Ball State's defense was the star of the show, holding the Hawkeyes to a lone field goal for most of the afternoon and scoring the team's only touchdown. Sophomore lineman Blake Dewitt capitalized on an Iowa error early in the second quarter by returning a fumble 35 yards for the game's opening points. The Cardinals struggled offensively, managing 219 yards to the Hawkeyes' 455. Ozzie Mann was 15 for 30 on the night. With Ball State unable to capitalize on earlier chances, Iowa made their move late in the fourth quarter to steal the win. With the loss, Ball State moves to 1-1. The Cards will play their next game at Schumann Stadium this Saturday against Indiana State. Kickoff is set for 3 p.m. Both men's and women's golf was in action this weekend. At the Northern Intercollegiate, Ball State men finished 8th of 13 on the weekend. A bright spot for the men was senior McCormick Clouser, who finished 2 under par 72 on Sunday. Clouser was able to finish 4th on the weekend, only 6 shots behind the leader for the best finish of his collegiate career. The Cardinals also saw good weekends from Zach Yinger and James Blackwell, who finished 74 and 75 respectively in the final round. Women's golf kicked off their season, finishing 4th of 16 in the Redbird Invitational that took place this weekend, finishing today. The Cardinals can be proud of their results, having all 6 of their golfers finishing in the top half of the field. Freshman Kayla Adamson and sophomore Allison Lindley were Ball State's top golfers of the tournament. Lindley, a transfer from Iowa, tied 17th, 14 over par, while Adamson took 20th at 15 over. For both girls, this was their first tournament in Cardinal red. Ball State field hockey dropped their first game of the season to undefeated Syracuse 5-0. Ball State was on a 3-game win streak before meeting the top-ranked Syracuse Sunday afternoon. Keeper Shelby Henley faced 21 shots and was able to fight off 15 in the loss. The women have started their season on a 5-game road series with one final game against Ohio State this Sunday at 1 p.m. before returning home to take on Indiana next Wednesday. And the Indianapolis Colts opened their 2014 NFL season on the road against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, falling 24-31. In the Mile High City, the Colts struggled to put points on the board early in the game, allowing Denver a 17-point cushion going into the half. the Colts were able to generate 17 points in a second-half comeback, but could not dig themselves out of their first-half hole. Andrew Luck went 35 for 53 on the night with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. More bad news for the Colts. Linebacker Robert Mathis will miss the rest of the season with a torn Achilles tendon. The 6-time Pro Bowler was serving a 4-game suspension and was working on his own in Atlanta when he suffered the injury. And that's all for your NewsLink Indiana Web Sports. Be sure to stay up to date with us on Facebook and Twitter. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Jacqueline Berzali. Have a great night.